This is our American Dream team. Welcome. All right. I think we'll go ahead and get started today because I'm going to do about 5-10 minutes of introduction, and then we'll get right into our first project. We have been waiting for this for quite some time now, so it's very exciting, very excited to be able to see all the vision that we've been talking about for the last 3 years and being able to see our team members. Welcome everyone, American Dream team. Today is a very special day in our history books. It's going to be a milestone to remember. So for those of you that are new on the call today, I'm going to do a quick introduction on the American Dream and what we're about. Our American Dream team is a group of real estate and really real estate professionals that have come together during the onset of the pandemic, and we have a very specific mission. We have a very specific vision. Our vision is to see people believe again in the American dream of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And our mission is to heal, to educate, and to protect. We've been training every single day from 5:05 a.m. to 6 a.m. Monday through Friday, starting May 31st, 2020. And we were on training every day for 365 days a year, Monday through Saturday, no breaks for holidays, every single day. And we've come to this point. For the last few years, we've been really putting together a plan that can help us take our country and really, in a way, take it back. So what we promote here, I'm an advocate of small business and home ownership. That's what we're about. And what this dream plan that we are launching very soon here is how can we help everyone take our country back in two ways. How can we help everyone take back home ownership and small business ownership, right? Those are the principal concepts. And what we're teaching everyone to do is to become a real estate professional, a lending professional, and also a building professional, a builder, right? So we can be a part of the solution to solve one of the greatest problems that's facing our country right now, which is inflation. And due to inflation, one of the greatest problems that we're facing in California right now is affordable housing. Affordable housing is at the center and at the root of all the homelessness issues that you're seeing right now. Many people think that, it's because of drugs, or it's because of poverty. See, that's not necessarily true, because there's a lot of other cities in this country right now, like Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta. There's a lot of places that have way bigger drug issues or poverty issues. But what we're seeing in California with the homelessness, California right now holds 50% of the homelessness in America right now. And the reason for that is not just lack of education, lack of, like I said, because of poverty or because of drug issues. It's actually affordable housing. If you really look into the numbers, it's due to affordable housing. So what is our mission? Our mission is to counter that problem with the solution, and to solve by building living spaces and living units. And that's how we're going to solve this problem. That's what we're going to be going over today. So if you haven't been on this call, here is the simple step process to get to this point today. Okay. So before we go over today's first project, just to give you a recap, using your credit to access capital through a corporation, through a small business, by creating a new business. And through that business, we help you acquire capital so that capital can be used to start your business in real estate investing. Now, when I say real estate investing, today, that real estate investing project has come to life in what's called ground up construction. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. And just to give you an idea of how we're structuring this ground up construction. Okay, I want you to keep this in mind. If you come from a real estate background, you might be thinking, oh, well, those margins are not good. I can make more than that. I'm already a expert at fix and flips. All of that is fine. Okay. But here's what I have to offer when you join this community. Okay. One thing that, if you've been following me, that you'll know is I am part of the working group for the city of Los Angeles with Mayor Bass, Karen Bass. And right now, the city of LA, like I mentioned before, San Francisco and LA have the biggest homelessness issue. It's a crisis. And Mayor Bass is actually taking on this agenda, this problem, this crisis head on. This year, when she took office, she put as her number one agenda solving the homelessness and affordable housing issue. Okay, so I'm actually part of that working group committee. And the reason I'm part of that is because of Dreams Come True Foundation. Dreams Come True Foundation is a nonprofit organization that really has opened my eyes to how I can really serve in this industry, not just as a mortgage lender, not just as the owner of a mortgage bank, or not just as a real estate agent for those of us here that are real estate professionals, but in a much bigger capacity, is being able to serve where the people are most needed. So with that being said, earlier this year, I was able to find myself in the same room as other general contractors, builders who are trying to win their bid, really promote themselves and their services to the Affordable Housing Committee of Los Angeles. And through that, there was something that I had realized, like, wow, right? This is what I realized. When you're in front of the people that you need to perform in front of, the truth starts coming out, right? So what I was able to witness was the actual, in conversations with general builders and general contractors, the actual cost of building a home and their margins, right? I mean, who shares that unless you have to, right? So we were in a position where they had to share that. And because of that, they already knew that I knew. So that's when we started having these talks. And when I started having these talks, I realized that both sides, the people with the money and the people with the experience to build, they were not coming to reality. We weren't looking at things and looking at the opportunity the way we could have. So that's what we have today. We have today a marriage between builders and us as capital investors to be able to come together and to put a real viable long-term plan, a long-term project where we can both benefit. And the biggest benefit, before I show you this first project today, the biggest benefit is going to come from knowing, number one, how to do every single step from the beginning to end on ground up construction, from the permitting process to the engineering to the architect to actually hiring people to the building part, right? So that entire process, and mind you, I'm very new to this, but I have access to people that will give me this information. More, the information that I have access to is going to be more valuable to me than what someone that may have been doing ground up construction for years and years, right? So just keep that in mind. So that's really the benefit. So the way we have this structured right now between our first general contractor, so there's going to be different levels that we go, but we're going to start with the first level. The first level is contractors that specialize in 1 million to the $3 million range. So we're talking single family and multi-family residential. Then phase two, we're going to get a little bit closer to the LA market. We're going to be looking at $7.5 to $15 million ranges. And then level three, phase three, we're going straight into Los Angeles City, where we're talking 25 million plus affordable housing units, multi apartment complexes, small motels, all the way up to 100 unit plus. So that's the path. That's how we're going to learn to step by step. And I'm purposely, even though I have access to go straight to the larger projects, I'm purposely starting at the lower end because I want to learn, whoever wants to come along with me, I want to learn every single nook and cranny of this process, just like I did with my operations team at Home First Mortgage Bankers. If you know my story of how we built this mortgage company from beginning, organically from the bottom, from each paperwork, each compliance, each page of the policies and procedures. Once you realize why that's so valuable, then you're going to go on this journey with me, because it's knowledge, the right knowledge. And when you know that you can get the right knowledge, is more valuable than getting something cheaper today, because this is something that you can produce and reproduce and do it yourself. So I'm all about, yeah, we can teach someone how to fish, or what's that saying? You could give someone a fish. I'm all about giving fish away too. But I know from my past experience, while I'm learning how to fish, if I share that knowledge with you in the future, 3, 4, 5 years from now, especially 5 years, that's a good marker for us. 5 years from now, we're all going to be at a whole nother level where we can help other people, not only give them some fish, but teach them how to fish. So that's the journey. So let's get right into it. I'm excited to be able to share our first project. I just got it in yesterday, and I purposely didn't even open it. I mean, I kind of opened it, but I purposely didn't look at anything because I wanted to have this experience with you guys for the next 30 minutes. All right. So let me go ahead first. This property, I'm going to go and look at first, let's look at some, so Javier, you guys can look him up, D Vega Builders out of Riverside. His website, you can find it if you Google it, D Vega Builders. Okay. I got this, let's see here. You'll see when I got this. I got this 2 days ago, I think. And then I got the actual numbers breakdown yesterday. All right. So this property, these are renderings that we're about to see. Here is the address. Okay, so this is a triplex plan. Now, this plot of land actually, and mind you, I don't know all the details, okay, but we're gonna do a preliminary share today, a dive into this, and then the idea is we're gonna have a meeting for those of you that are qualified to invest with us. We're going to have a meeting to go over this in more detail. However, for those of you that, again, earlier I was explaining to you, for those of you that are going to follow me, there's going to be some exciting news about how even if you're not investing, there's going to be some opportunities to gain access to all this information. So that's the benefit of this call, being on this call today. All right. So this property, all right, is already 99% completed with permits and entitlements. Okay. And it's for multifamily. So this is the rendering. This is a possible rendering. This isn't the final product, but this is a possible rendering. It's a triplex. Okay. And we could either build 1 3-unit, or we could actually probably build 3 separate units as well. That was on the table. Okay, so here's an idea of what the triplex looks like internally. This is a computer digital rendering. Okay, so this does not exist right now. It's just a plot of land because we're going into ground up construction. All right. So I'm just going to quickly show you these pictures. So this is what each unit would look like. All right, so it looks pretty spacious. I like it. From the top, boom. All right, and then I'll open this up actually. So this is the plan renderings.
So it's total 6 units?
Total is going to be 3 units. It's the first floor and second floor.
For each unit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going across. These are the 3 units across. Let me go back up there. Yeah, so the top is the first floor. You see that?
Okay.
And then this right here is the second floor. So the renderings, when we get better renderings, it'll, make more sense. But 3 units, first and second floor. Got the roof plan here. Just quickly going through this so we can all kind of have an idea of what it looks like. I don't know about you guys, but this the first time I'm seeing ground up construction plans. So this is like a foreign language to me, which is good. It's going to take some time to learn this language. Second floor lighting plan, first floor lighting plan. So this looks like the piping, the cooling pipes, warm air furnace. So this is all the engineering behind the fan and the indoor.
You were looking at the stamp approved plans, huh?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, exactly. This is already approved. The only thing that we need to do if we take over, if we purchase this, all we have to do is start building. It's gonna be ready to go within the next few weeks. Commercial condensing water heater. Okay. Almost done. Okay, so you guys get the idea, right? Because I think it's going to be another 20, 30 pages of that right there. All right. So this is, like David mentioned, approved city plans. So we're going to go on to the next one. Here's all the certificates, the stamps. Boom, City of Riverside. All right, next. How do I expand? I need to zoom in here.
Is it an Excel file?
Oh, here it is. Okay, here it is. Here it is. I got it.
Okay.
Yep, good. Okay. All right, this is a PDF file, so that's why. Okay, so project 41 Street triplex located on 41st Street, San Bernardino. Once we complete it, it'll be 41st Street, San Bernardino County. All right, and this is as of yesterday, so we just received this yesterday. And again, I'm gonna just kind of preface this by saying this is our first smaller, more conservative project, but just so you know, and based on the renderings, based on the square footage, what would be interesting is for our realtors on the team right now, if you can kind of get us some ideas on the projected sale price, right, on a triplex, right? So did we catch the square footage earlier? Can someone do that for us while we're reviewing these numbers? I know
What was the question?
Yeah, I know I have some real estate experts on here. So if we can get some value checks, some projected value sell price, I'd like to see if you can get that for me on a 3-unit for our square footage for our bed and bath count in that similar area. So going back to this. Lot size is 13,395 square feet.
How much? 13,000?
Yeah, hold on. Let me go back to that. Okay, lot size is 13,395 square feet. 3 units with 1 car garage attached and 6 parking stalls. 2 stories, auto sprinkler system. Occupancy type is residential. I'm looking for the square footage. Okay. The building square footage is 2,922 square feet.
That's existing.
2009.
There is no there is nothing existing. The landscape is 26.3% at 3,453. What other information do we need out of here? You get some comps. So each unit, all right, let's do that. So unit A is 960 on the first floor and 974 on the second floor. So the bottom units are all 960 times 3.
So we're going from 2,800 square feet to 5,832. Is that right? The building is going to be 3,000 square feet almost, right? 2,900 square feet. So the top unit, but we have 2 stories, right? So we're going top unit is 974 and the first unit is 960. Does that make sense? Oops. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the to our numbers. If any of the realtors on here can start comping that, our target minimum is 1.5. I'm sorry, 1.45 is our minimum target, 1.45. But 1.5 seems realistic according to some realtors that our builder talked to, but not our realtors. So I just want to compare. All right, so deal structure. If you guys remember the deal structure, 25% for the capital investors, 75% for D Vega builders. Okay, so here's the thought process on this structure. Okay, I want to put myself in his shoes, and when they're the ones that find the project and they're the ones that are going to do the work at cost up front, they're not putting in their margins up front. The benefit for them is at the end to take the lion's share, right? So that's the structure. Now for us, we take the minor share of 25%. The benefit to us is whatever D Vega's estimates are up front at cost, right? He will guarantee that. So that way that's not a variable for us. And anything that may go over, I mean, no one can guarantee what could happen, but anything that goes over would be deducted from the 75%. Okay, so that's the deal structure. The only variable for the investors, therefore, is the sell price, is the exit price. All right, so that's why that's the one part that we're responsible for, having confidence going into this. Okay, so again, I'm going to quickly review this, and then we can kind of go over, any questions. All right, we can go look at it. Oh, David, you were correct though. 1934 square feet per unit if you add top and bottom. So the whole unit, the whole triplex unit is 5,832 square feet. Okay, and the site is 13,395 square feet. Right. Yeah. So when we do a comp, I'm doing, at least for on my experience, I comp the existing of what is in the current vicinity pocket, and then I also comp for what
the projection of the finish construction, which in this particular, we got unit A, B, and C, 1934 multiplied by 3 units, we got a total structural living of 5832. Then you comp that as well. And then not to mention, we are right back at a seller's market within certain pockets and areas that are desirable. And if you're projecting 1.4, you know, in this market, we might be hitting 1.5, 1.6.
Right. I just want to make sure that the
But
numbers make sense.
But you're being conservative. So yeah, that's and it's always good to be conservative.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, for us, the 25%, whether it goes a little bit higher, a little bit lower, it's not going to change the numbers that much. For the line share, it will change it. But here's something also I want us to remember. It's 25% because of our positioning on the first deal. The idea for this partnership, for this plan, is to scale up and continue building at scale. So as that happens, this is the deal structure for opportunities that D Vega Builders brings to us. But if now with our experience and now with our connections with D Vega Builders, right, we could also now have an eye for finding our own opportunities, our own locations, so where we can do ground up construction. And the benefit from there is going to be, we're going to get a pretty good discounted cost. And not only will we get the discounted cost, but we'll know what we're doing. We'll know that if it's realistic or not, right? Kind of like selling a home, right? So that's the goal at the end of this journey. All right. So you're right. So, demolition of the existing concrete slab and septic tank. Okay. Just going to read this really quickly. Abatement, weed abatement, 2,000. Concrete foundation and hardscape, 80,000, 25,000. And for those of you that are, kind of in the real estate fix and flip business, maybe you can give some feedback on how these costs and estimates kind of compare to what you're used to seeing. Okay, so excavation, nothing there. The next thing down is rough carpentry, framing, trim, hardy siding, framing labor, baseboards. So finished carpentry, you're looking at about 24, 25, 26,000 there. Cabinets, 35,000. Thermal insulation, 18,000. And these are all part of the plans. If I can ask everyone to mute, that'd be great. Roofing, shingles per plan, 7,000, 17,000. Doors, frames, hardware, 6,500, 1,500. Windows, 12,000. Garage doors, 5,500. There's 3, including the motor. Lath and plaster, stucco, all units, 28,000. Drywall and metal studs, 17,000. We'll keep going. Taping labor, 20,000. Tile work, nothing there. Fiberglass shower enclosures, 5,000. Flooring, 14 and 12 for the labor. Carpet, painting. I guess there's no carpet. Painting, we're going to do 15 and 3. Appliances, 10.5 for 3 units. That's for the range, oven, and hood refrigerator. Appliances, oh yeah, we just did that. Blinds and shades, 6,500. Fire sprinklers, 25,000. Plumbing, 38,000. HVAC, 40,000. Electrical, rough and finish, 35,000. Earthwork, rough grading, 1,500. Excavation and fill, black fill at walls, 20,000. Erosion control, SWPP, 7,500. Cleanup, dumpsters, final cleanup, 10 grand. Domestic water, fire water, irrigation services with backflows. Actually, right above that, site utilities is subtotal is 53,000. Domestic water, again, 15,000. Sanitary sewer, 6-foot sewer laterals from POC in street to PL, add sewer laterals, 20,000. Storm drainage, 8,000. Electrical utilities and a little bit of allowance on there, 10,000. Planting trees and shrubs, irrigation 3 and 10,000. All right. So all of that on this first deal, this first opportunity, we're looking at a total cost of $749,500. All right. So $749,500, and let's say 749,500 minus. Do we have anyone that objects to 1.5 million on the comps, real estate agents? I'm going to put in 1.45 million. So 700,500 is going to be our net profit. Okay, that's at 1.45 million. Okay, now one thing that we may need to factor in at 1.45 million, we should put in our full 6% commission, and then maybe another 13,000. That's 87,000. I'll add another 13,000 in closing costs on the seller side. So 100,000. I'm going to take 100,000 out. So 1.350 million. That's net, assuming a 1.45 sell price, minus 749,500. It's going to be 600,500. Let's go 25% of that. It's going to be 150,125 on this particular project. All right. Any questions on how I did that math?
What about the lot cost for the property?
Kim, quick thing to also understand. So when you say investor size is 600 and the 749 mark, so 600, what does the investor get? Like, is it like a land or?
I'm sorry. Could you say that one more time, Venkat?
So, so regarding the portion of like who is investing what, so if you wanna, let's say, start with this project with the initial down payment from the investor, so you are going to acquire the land from that investment amount, and the DVega company is going to do the construction, correct?
Correct. So DVega actually is currently the owner of this land. And this, yeah. So when we're partnering up with him, the partnership is a 75-25 split between this investment here and then our sell price.
Okay, then where are we, like, in what portion of the investor's money is going towards? Is it towards the construction or?
Only the construction and cost right here. Every breakdown that we just went over. I'll send this to you so that way you can kind of see it, you know, with at your own time. But if you add all this up, this is 749,500.
Okay, 749 is the cost of the project, and on top of it, we have like what do you call?
So our
compensation.
Yeah, so the way we should do that, okay, and this is something where if you know the real estate side, we should look at the investment as 749,500 as the capital investor, okay? And then the only thing that's a hard given. That's going to be written in the contract where we're only going to be charged 749.5. If DVega Builders was wrong on their estimate and they go higher, then let's say it ended up costing another 100,000. Let's just pretend, right? Because it's possible, right? So if it costs another 100,000, then to us, 749.5 is not going to change. What's going to change is that other 100,000 is it's either going to be material or labor work. It's not going to be anything else, right? So based on the material and labor, which DVega Builders already has, okay, then the way he's going to pay for that is from the 75%, we have to deduct back out the 100 extra thousand, right? We'll see the cost, but it doesn't matter to him or to us because we're not paying for that, right? Now, let's now talk about when we sell. The only variable that we have is when we sell the home, because if this house sells at 1.5 versus 1.45, then yes, there's going to be a little bit of a variation. Every $100,000 variation is a $25,000 difference for us because we're only in it 25%. Now, what you're talking about is the closing costs. So the gross sale minus our closing costs, we should be looking at the 25% split from the net. So on the gross, usually on the gross, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not involved on the seller side, but on the high end is 6% for the real estate commissions, and then on title and escrow fees and all of that, you're probably looking at about another 10 grand. I put in 13 grand. So if I'm looking at 1.45 million times 0.06%, so I got to take out 87,000. That's a exit cost. And then I'm adding another 13,000, which I think is generous for closing costs on the seller side. So that's another 100,000. Did you follow me on that? All right. Any questions, everyone?
So out of 1,350,000, how are we going to calculate the profit? Like out of 1 million, like let's say if we sell it for 1,450,000, we are taking out 100,000 as closing cost.
Right.
So that comes down to 1,350,000, right?
Right.
So
minus
300
minus 749,500. That was the investment, right? So that gets paid back first, right? So then 600,500 is the additional profit. So the 749.5 we get back, and then out of the 600,500, the investor side, our side, will get 0.25, 150,125. Okay. Now, obviously, if there's one investor, it's easy to calculate that. But the idea with our program, right, as you will learn for those of you that are new, we'll go into this more detail. But the idea is we want smaller investments from the corporate credit lines. I mean, you can invest cash too on this first one, but the idea is everyone invests anywhere from 25 to 50,000, and we have multiple people doing it. That would be the ideal scenario. So that way, in theory, right, every month or every 3 months, we can start a new project, right? So that you're going in on a new project each month, right? And then you're coming out on a project, each month or every few months when we get this started. And that's the vision, right? That's the vision. That's how we're gonna be able to do more and really keep our mission in mind, which is truly continuing to build, right? So going back to the mission. Does that answer your question, Venkat?
Yes. Yes, Ken. And so what is their turnaround time? Within how many months they are projecting to complete the project?
So this project, and you can ask the questions to him directly, is going to be 6 months. It'll be done in 6 months. However, we cannot get out of the deal until 12 months, okay? Because this particular project, D Vega Builders is going to be the buyer, okay? So he's going to ultimately refinance and cash us out. So it takes, and even if we try to sell it on the market, we need to wait 6 months after the close of escrow to get the comps that we need. So we're looking at a 1-year investment on this, conservatively, but it'll be done in as little as 6 months.
Okay. So what you're trying to say is, correct me if I understood wrong. So they have the D Vega Builders own the land, and we invest on the construction, and the D Vega Builders will buy back the property, correct?
Correct. I mean, they're not really buying it back. They're just cashing us out. But yes, that's the idea. That's the same concept. Yes.
Okay. So in that case, the selling price, how do we determine the selling price? Like, is it going to be 1.45 or is it going to be 1.5, 1.6? What price they are looking forward, like, to buy back or refinance or cash out, whatever you call.
Yeah. So the way we look at that is when it comes time to sell the property, okay, D Vega Builders isn't going to be the lowest offer. They're going to be the highest offer. And it doesn't matter to him because he's getting 75% of that highest offer anyway. Does that make sense? So if we have offers on that property, right, like he wants us to make a little bit more money, and this is going to be good for our project. So it's going to be the highest offer that we find in the market, highest appraisal value. And as you know, I'm a lender. We're going to be doing the loans on these. So we use our appraisers to evaluate the highest appraisal value. And then the idea is to help everyone. Let's say we do end up selling to our own buyers down the line, because the idea that we have also is when we start building these, we want to sell these to our own buyer network, right? So when we do that, the structure is we sell it at the highest appraisal value possible, and we're giving seller credits, maximum seller credits to first-time home buyers, right? I mean, we really want to give that first-time home buyer the opportunity to buy our homes, right?
And second thing, is this property like sold as like a triplex or individual units?
Triplex. It's going to be sold as a triplex. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I think this is going to be a great first deal for us because one change that just got announced. I mean, think about the timing of this. One change that just got announced last week, it's going to go into effect in November. Fannie Mae just changed the minimum down payment requirement on a 3-unit and a 4-unit, 2 to 4 unit. It's 5% down instead of 25% down. That's incredible. So what does that tell me? Right? The banks want to push and see more multifamily units in the market. So the timing of this is just like we're like, I would say we're about 6 months ahead of the game because we're starting with completed plans. And D Vega, he is a very, very well known. We're tied in with the mayor of Moreno Valley and some of the city council members at Riverside, just like I'm tied in with Karen Bass in Los Angeles. The types of projects that are presented and offered to D Vega Builders with this partnership, Javier and I have become really good friends over the last several months. And you'll get to meet him. You'll know how I met him and our American Dream team. That we're going tomorrow to an event, and we're going to meet the people that he's involved with. And it's a very tight-knit community. I'll say that, right? Because we're all in a kind of similar mindset. We all have similar goals. But at the same time, if we leverage each other, we really want to do something bigger than what we can do on our own individually. So there's a lot of people that are going to be benefiting from this as we build these homes. All right. So that's the idea there. I love these questions, by the way. Anyone else? All right. We got 9 minutes left. If there aren't any other questions, we'll just do a real quick rundown of the plan again. And this is going to be the last time I'm going to share this plan before we do a relaunch of our program. So follow me on Instagram starting next week. You're going to kind of see how this is all going to come together. We're not here just to work with real estate professionals, people that have money. We're here really ultimately to create a plan. It's a 5-year plan to help every single consumer, every friend or family member that we know, to be able to get into this opportunity. Okay. And we do that by, number one, setting you up with Raj, who's on this call. If you could show your face, Raj, and give us a wave. If not, that's fine. But if you're not at a 740 credit, you need to get on track to be at a 740 credit. All right. Because once you get that 740 credit, we set you up with Will and Ross, our accounting, our CPA accounting, and also corporate underwriting team, where they will set you up with a corporation with the correct code, the category code, so that your corporation is set up to maximize within 2 years to be able to apply for credit increases on your business credit line up to $1 million, of which American Dream Team is going to partner up with you on a 50-50 partnership on all of your corporations. Okay, so doesn't mean just one. It's 500,000 per corporation, but we can only start with one at a time for every 2 years. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then once you do that, then you can use that money however way you want. But what we're doing here is we're giving you the confidence and the training to be able to go into ground up construction, because that's where the margins are. That's where not every single real estate agent in the market can just go and find a fix and flip or a fixer upper and find a couple, contractors or subcontractors and do some cosmetic work. This right here takes a lot of coordination. It takes a lot of expertise and licenses, and to have it all under one roof. This is going to be a game changer. This is going to be able to drive our industry in the right direction as we add more living space and square footage. Okay, not only that, we have everything in between ground up construction all the way to ADUs and fixer uppers. So it's not that we don't do those things, but we don't have to. We can be patient and we can look for the right opportunities because we know our numbers when it comes to ground up construction. It's going to benefit you in every other aspect of your business, especially if you're in the real estate game. All right. So that's my pitch for today. Again, thank you all for your presence and being with us this past 45, 60 days and staying committed and, patiently waiting for this day. We have really been waiting for this day to for everything to come together. And tomorrow, you're going to see the American Dream Team taking off. So welcome to the team, everyone, and glad to have you with us on this journey. All right. With that, I'm going to sign out. Peace be with you all. God bless.
Thank you.